Come on, son. I was severely abused for most of my childhood. When I was about 17, I ran away from home. I was deeply in love with a girl. She was pregnant with our first child. My son was just barely born. 3 days later, we went to the local shelter. It was really scary. I'm a new father. I don't know how to be a father yet. And here I am with this little baby and a wife, and we're in a homeless shelter. I found myself asking God, why me? What can I do to get out of this?
If we were to rewind the clock and go back to the late 90s, our shelters were operating at capacity. We had individuals who were living at the shelter as opposed to using the shelter as a temporary part of their situation. Lloyd was one of the real innovators who helped us to look at different approaches.
I was a typical citizen, not aware of the homeless situation. But I was loaned out to a nonprofit organization that served those in need. And so I met a lot of the agencies that served the homeless population. The conventional wisdom at that time was that they needed to be clean, dry, and sober before they could go into housing. But for the chronically homeless individuals, they just couldn't overcome those barriers. When I heard about a model called Housing First, I had this very strong impression come over me. If there's any state in the union that could end chronic homelessness, it was the state of Utah. In 2005, we decided to do a pilot, which ended up being 17 individuals off the street straight into housing. 22 months later, all 17 were still housed. It was a powerful turning point for us.
It's amazing because we have a family unit. Our boys have their own room. We're able to take our kids onto a playground. We've even been able to get a dog. Even though my son remembers the past and the different things that we've been through, now me being a stay-at-home father, being more involved in my son's life, I don't feel as worthless. He can actually look up to me.
When I walk through the halls of our housing for chronic homeless, I see a human being who now has some hope. They're going to the medical clinic and getting their teeth taken care of. They're going and getting primary care help and improving their quality of life. They're reconnecting with their family, their children, their parents. Over the past 10 years, since we implemented the Housing First model, we have reduced our chronic homeless from over 1,900 down to 168, which is a 91% reduction. We have not solved overall homelessness. It's not the end, it's the beginning.